These statistics are terrifying. If we break them down, we find over 3/4 of all drownings in Fiji occur in the wet season and cyclone months. Of those in the 5 to 19 year bracket, most drown in rivers. 2/3 of all drownings happen in rural or village areas, and 1/3 are during school holiday periods. This potentially costs Fiji $14 million a year. For the first time, we have compiled statistics from our 4 divisions. The Western Division accounted for 40% of all drownings. Most occurred in rivers and creeks. The Northern Division accounted for 26% of all drownings. Half were Fijians of Indian descent and 40% were Itauke. 1/3 of all drownings happened during school holidays, all in rivers. The Itauke victims were primarily male with an average age of 33, involved in fishing, diving, or alcohol consumption. All drownings in the Central Division happened in inland waterways, with 3/4 during cyclone season. The vast majority were Itauke. More 3-year-olds drowned than any other age. Itauke was again the highest single group in the Eastern Division, with 80% being either toddlers under 5 or men 20 to 35 years of age. Again, more toddlers drowned than any other age. This evaluation shows a strong correlation between the cyclone season and the total number of drownings in 2014. The Water Safety Council of Fiji is conducting research in 3 consecutive cyclone seasons. There is a real need to add drowning prevention to education, disaster management, and water safety programs. A large element in achieving this has been the crucial support provided by the Fiji Police Force and Fiji Meteorological Services representatives, who essentially act as partners in the data analysis. The Water Safety Council of Fiji looks forward to working cohesively with all respected stakeholders in 2015.
Thank you. The directors of the Water Safety Council of Fiji. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Bulavinaka, and a very good morning to you all. I can't think of a better moment to join you as we highlight the tragic incidents of drowning in Fiji, and especially those of our precious young people. This morning, large areas of our country, especially in the west and in the Eastern Division, are feeling the impact of Cyclone Pam. And while we have been spared the full force of a direct impact, part of Fiji experiencing high winds and driving rain. Pam is being called a monster storm, and the amount of rainfall we expect it to dump in Fiji at its outer reaches is extremely high as these disturbances go. So today of all days, I want as your Prime Minister to again highlight the extreme danger that flooding poses to every Fijian, but especially the most vulnerable among us, our children. I call on every Fijian today to be especially mindful of the risk. Parents and guardians, make sure you know where your children are and make sure you keep them safe. Make sure you explain to them that even if a culvert or creek looks safe, that can change in an instant. Flash flooding is a terrible killer, and today is one of the most dangerous days for all Fijians, and of course tomorrow. We know from the Water Safety Council figures we are releasing this morning that 77% of the total drownings in Fiji last year occurred during the cyclone season. More than half of the 47 drowning victims last year were under the age of 25, with children aged between 1 and 5 years old accounting for 23% of those drownings. The loss of these most vulnerable and innocent children among us is a particular tragedy. We need to be a lot more vigilant, a lot more alert. We can afford to let our guard down with our children for even a minute, and we need to keep an eye on them at all times to avoid the loss of these young lives and terrible suffering it causes to their families and the whole community. We also know from the figures that of the 47 drownings last year, 66% of the victims lived in rural parts of Fiji. So again, we need to be particularly vigilant in those areas outside our cities and towns. As the Water Safety Council of Fiji slogan so aptly puts it, drowning is preventable with the right precautions. It needn't happen, and we can reduce the incidence of drownings if everyone is more vigilant. There is no excuse for any child in Fiji not to be taught how to swim. So I urge all parents to equip their children with the skills they need to get out of trouble if they are ever unfortunate enough to find themselves in danger. I will leave it to other stakeholders other speakers to elaborate on the latest findings, but I want to pay tribute to the Water Safety Council of Fiji for its sterling work, and also members of the Fiji Police Force for their efforts to address this vital issue for the safety for every Fijian. I'm delighted to be here this morning to help draw attention to the problem, and on a day when it is even more important than usual. As we ride out Cyclone Pam, may God protect Fiji and every Fijian and keep us safe, and may God protect the lives of every Pacific Islander, especially those in Vanuatu, unfortunate enough to be closer to the cyclone's path. And I thank you.